Keith Lea, Plover, Wisconsin. All right, the reason I'm here is mainly because I'm very pleased with my hearing aids. This is the third set I've had, and really can't believe the new technology. But going back, the reason I needed hearing aids is I was firing rockets in WW2, and the rockets shriek. And we had earplugs in. And being right, I had earphones on. I had to talk to all parts of the ship and all gun tubs. And I had to take one of the earplugs out to be able to hear on the phones. So I, being right-handed, pulled my right earplug out. Well, after these screaming rockets, I never could hear a watch tick in the right-hand ear after that. But the hearing in my left ear was fairly normal. So I got along well until I aged enough so that I started to lose my hearing in the good ear. Well, I had known Dr. Leppold. He'd been referred to us when my mother needed hearing aids. And he fed her and very successfully. And then he's a graduate of our College of Community Disorders at UW-Stevens Point. And I know some of his professors. And so anyway, when I need hearing aids, I came over here. Well, first I was down south and I got a pair that really didn't work adequately. Well, then I came and saw Tim, and the first aid that I had was a Rhapsody. Wonderful. The thing, it was manual. And it hung behind the ear, and you could adjust the volume, level. You could tap buttons and zoom somebody in at the podium. They worked, but they were manual. And you always knew you were wearing them. You had these dangling things behind your ear. Well, then this new one came out. It's fully in the canal and fully automatic. It's hard for me to believe what the thing can do. It's one thing is, I think is so important, is you start with a good hearing test. Then they build the aid, adjust the aid to your hearing. And they got the thing so it's got about 16 divided the sound into 16 bands. Each band is adjustable. Each band really treats different types of noises, like car noises, kitchen background noises, and such. Well, in your ear, then they hook this to the computer, and they start with it loud and lower it until you nod where it's comfortable, and they set it. Okay. Then another nice thing about Tim, he always insists you come back to double check. He might want to raise one band slightly or something. But that's another thing why I appreciate HearCare is that they're very particular. They got to get it just right. And another thing that I like about these aids is you forget you're wearing them. You're not conscious of them in your ear. They're fully automatic. I think it's like I quit using a manual shift on a car years and years ago when the automatics came out. And I wouldn't go back to this shifting and jerking anymore. I go with an automatic transmission. It works under RPMs and torque. It's easier for the engine, and these are much easier like that automatic transmission. They're much easier on the patient than if you're fiddling with the adjustments. And when you have some hearing loss, it's hard to figure out how you adjust to compensate for it manually with the wheels. These things are doing this automatically. And believe it or not, being preset and able to reset is, I think, their tremendous advantage. So it's, I'm completely satisfied. I'm amazed at the technology. It's really a leap forward. I can hear now like I could when I was 21. I was out getting the mail out of the mailbox, and a village truck went roaring by, and it suppressed that roaring down to where it was a comfortable level. At the same time, I could hear a goldfinch up in a spruce tree twittering away. Well, it can handle several sounds. The other ones couldn't handle it that well. If somebody was yelling and laughing at one table close by, you couldn't hear somebody over in the corner talking in a normal voice at another table. And with these aids, you can do that. So that's that's about the best I can describe them. It's been a good experience. And you know, I think I don't fiddle with them like I had to with the others. You know, you're conscious of them. Now I put them in the morning, clean them a little, make sure. The only problem is keeping sure you not gum them up with wax. Well, keeping your wax out of your ears isn't too big a handicap. But I put them in the morning, and I take them off when I go to bed, and they go on the nightstand. And another thing is so surprising is now I can pick up a phone. I don't get a lot of feedback and all that. As soon as I put that up to my ear, that darn aid senses that phone's magnetic coil and adjusts for it. So I can hear on the phone just as well as I did before, too. Also on the cell phone. So that's very versatile. And now if they could get them solar powered so we wouldn't need to put batteries in, that's once a week deal. But they distinctly tell you a battery when your battery's running low, and then they'll tell you a shutdown when it's done. They ought to try it. One nice thing, another thing I like about HearCare is that you get a good test, and they'll tell you whether they can help you or not. If they can't help you, sorry, but you know they aren't going to fit you with an aid that is not going to work right. If they can't help you, they're going to tell you. And you'd have to have a really damaged ear before they could not give you some relief. And the tests they'll happily test you free. At least you'll get your ears checked to see whether they got wax in them or not. That's all free. And just watching the computer program on showing the 16 bands, showing your hearing test on the computer. They can compare it to other hearing. Then they compare it to what the aid can do. They'll put a sample pair of aids on your ear, and you can hear with those. They'll shut those aids off, and you can see the difference, how much you couldn't hear. So very thorough. I'd say really on the picky side. They insist you come back often. See, it's been over, well, he's been in business over 30 years. And he's seen the various aids develop and improve. And they all are trying to improve. And he could handle just about any aid he would want to. But I think he's got a winner. I know he's got a winner. And so he's based on his experience and on the product. I think that was a good choice on my part. Well, it's a new era. The product is a result of a lot of research by a lot of acoustical engineers, a lot of computer people, and nanotechnology. When you are dealing with something that's the size of a wire, that's the size of a billionth the size of a human hair, you can build something tiny and small and still make it work. It's hard for me to visualize something, technology that tight, small and compact. Of course, some of this has been developed because of the needs of NASA, space, military, and we get the benefit of it in civilians. So there's been a lot of changes in technology since WW2 and since the radio, and it's still going to keep changing.